All right. Hey, what's going on, party people? Sorry about that. I'm sitting here. Oh man, let's see what we got going on. No. All right, there's the notifications going out. Um, all right, so I think I am good to go. Yeah. All right, let me refresh this. All right. There we go. Good evening. Good evening, apprentice. Oh man. If I did it wrong, good apprentice. I put good apprentice instead of good evening. Oh well. Y'all know what I was trying to do. Oh man. What's going on? Yep. Yep. Yeah, we are here. Man, was today was a mess. Today was all kind of stuff. And oh man, last week we were doing the live apprentice, and then showed house party. Man, they gave me a copyright strike. I was like, I thought it was if you played, had the audio with the video. Nah, they gave me a copyright strike. So I had to go in and delete that whole thing out. I think it was like 3 minutes. And once I deleted that, then it let me continue go back. Yeah, it let me go and be monetized. It told me I couldn't be monetized. That video couldn't be monetized with that in there. So I had to go in there, cut it out and everything. And you can do that in YouTube. The problem is, man, it takes like 5 or 6 hours to do. It's real slow. So I could do it one or two ways. I could download the video, edit it myself, and upload it. But all of the chats and stuff that we did on there, um, wouldn't be on a new video. It would be like uploading a whole new video. So it took me about maybe 20, 30 minutes to find the right section. And then I went in there and deleted it. And the tools they have on YouTube aren't really that great to do that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I had did that. And as soon as I got it out of there, I was back to being monetized on there and stuff. Everything. So yeah, good evening to you, lady. Now y'all know I've been slacking on my Fritter Fridays and stuff with my fritters, but tonight I got this. This is an apple spice cookie from Kroger. So I guess it's one of them holiday, and it smells like it. It smells all appley and spicy. So I went over there to the Kroger and said, let me grab me something real quick. And okay, I can get it. I can get with this. They just need some ice cream. And I had a feeling I was going to need some ice cream. Looking for my paper towel. Oh, here you go. Right there in front of me. Yeah, yeah. Now that warmed up, and you throw some ice cream on top, some salted caramel ice cream. Oh man, you in the house. Mm, it is very good. Okay, I got to give it to it. I got to give it to him. Okay, Kroger, y'all step your game up on that one and stuff. So I got to give it to you. So how's everybody been doing? And also, where you from? Coming from? I know Caprinas is in California. Y'all know I be forgetting where people are coming from. So I know Caprinas is in California. Lashonda is somewhere, and then we got Harriet is in on at the other somewhere. So But yeah, I'm here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, kicking it with everybody, LaShonda, South Carolina. And yeah, this week, man, I haven't even really looked at my calendar to see how things have played out. Um, Let me see something here. So this week I had what? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. No, no. Six. Oh shit, I done lost count. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. Seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this week, yeah, 17. Okay. So 17. All right. Harris down there in Georgia. Tamara's in Philly. Jermaine's in New York. So yeah, so this week, yeah, I had, 17 closings. Two of them would be tomorrow, at 9 o'clock, and then I got to call the guy to find out where. Now I was gonna try to get on earlier tonight, but I had to do a scan back. Then right when I was getting ready to click the button to get on, a notification came in for an order. And I was like, okay, let me see what this is. And it was for the 23rd. And out for whatever reason, I was thinking the 23rd was Sunday or this upcoming Sunday. But 23rd, of course, is tomorrow, Saturday. So I had hit yes by the time I realized. I was like, oh, that's Saturday. The guy called me and said, hey, you can do it either Saturday or Sunday. And I was like, that, you know, so you just never know when an order might come in. And these things have been just coming in at all kinds of crazy times. And it was something that I'm gonna see if I can do it for y'all real quick to help, to get y'all to understand. Let me see how I need to do it. Let's see if this will work. Hmm, nope. Because I was trying to see how many orders that I saw come through today. Oh, no wonder it's the wrong phone. How many orders that came through today for the 25th. And it was a buttload. And I think my gut wants to say 10. Um, so yeah, so that's one, two, three, and I know more came through. Um, yeah, it was a buttload. So it looks like it was more than 10 that it came through, but yeah, so it was over 10 orders that came through for Monday the 25th. I'm serious. It was over 10 orders that came through for Monday the 25th. And man, I was just like, okay, yeah, this is wild. Let me see if I can get this here. Was it 10? Oh, my bad. Okay, here we go. Seems like 10. Well, yeah, 10 because I got also picked up for some, but there was a buttload. And see, here's the problem that we got. A lot of them come through, and yeah, Frank, I got me an apple spice apple cookie, not a fritter, pretty doggone big cookie, and it tastes good, man, from Kroger. What's been happening is that it's like a buttload of orders will come in for the same day and all for around the same time. And I'm already booked on the 25th. I got an 8 o'clock, a 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and then 5. And all these new orders that came through came during the time was like for 11 to 1, and I couldn't do it. You know, yep, hit the like button, y'all. So I'm like 11 to 1. I can't, I couldn't take on any more orders because it just wasn't going to flow. And the location of them was out of pocket. If they had been for 2, 3, or 4, I probably could have had, I got 4 on Monday, I could have had probably 6 or 7. But that's what's been happening. I know that's been happening to a lot of other people trying to do these orders, but they're coming in all at the same time, and you just can't snag them up because logistically, there's no way you can do them. Um, the one that I got at 8 o'clock and then 9 o'clock, they're not that far. I don't think they're that far from each other. So I'm gonna knock those two out. Then 12 o'clock, and then hopefully something to pop up between maybe at the earliest 1:30 till about 3:30, maybe 4. Well, no, 3:30 because where I got to go for 5 o'clock, it's like a 40-minute drive. So yeah. But other than that, yeah, things are good. So tonight I wanted to, you know, talk about what if I had to do it all again, what would I do? And feel free to chime in, throw it in the chat, what you would do if things was different. If you, well, not so much different, if you had to do this business all over again. Because a lot of people are like, yeah, I made a mistake and I fell for the banana in the tailpipe. I drank the Kool-Aid. I was told it would be like this and it ain't nowhere near. So the no- see the hard part is, I guess, knowing what I know now, and even if I didn't know it, I think what I should have did was I should have went a little harder at the business. I should have just jumped in there a little harder and planned to go full time sooner. Um, had I really understood the refinance boom and all of that, I probably soon as COVID hit and all of that, and I started seeing those refis come, I should have went full time at that point. That would have been like March, April. But I wound up waiting till November of 2020. I think I should have went sooner. I should have went sooner, and that would have opened me up to being direct more. Um, so I would have went full time sooner. I would have hopped on it, went full time sooner. Yeah, now I do wish I would have heard about it a while back. And see, yeah, like, and so yeah, so Prentice wish he would have heard it sooner, longer, early, long time ago, and I agree. And then Oswald, he hopped right on it from the get go and everything. Um, and I was a little apprehensive. And see, I guess for me, taking into account the family, I don't know if Oswald's married or not, you know, but during that time, my wife was trying to start her business. So I was like, I need to make sure her stuff is established first. So that was one of the reasons, and that's not it. And it's not like, oh, Griff, you blame. No, no. It was just a smart move for that time period. Now, I see how things flow with this business. And if I had a little bit more understanding, and I could have got better understanding had I reached out to Bill Soroka a little bit more. I could have reached out to him, and I'm sure he would have been able to enlighten me, and I would have been like, okay, now I can do it. And I would have been able to like, okay, I can support my wife and do this. I think when I came on to YouTube was a good time for me. So I came on at that time. So I'm cool with that. Probably could have pushed the YouTube more and all of that. Um I could have went ahead on and took advantage of the monetization. Because see, actually, I still didn't understand it. I really didn't understand how monetization worked. So it took me a little while, and I didn't want to be trying to do something that I didn't understand. So could have did that, a little bit sooner, for as making money off of that and everything. I wish I knew the six thing, but I also saw what I could do. Yep, I am sticking with it. And that's key. I had no idea about the six-figure talk. I heard of it, I saw it, but I didn't know how prevalent it was. Um, I wish I could have learned. I could have gotten a little bit more solidified in the business, or for as being a notary and the notarizations a little quicker, so that I would have did what I've been doing, which is sharing the truth about this business, so that so many people wouldn't have got caught up and basically got taken for a ride. Are there some people who benefited from that six-figure talk? Yeah. But what I've learned is that most of them already knew how to notarize. The people who didn't know how to notarize, who weren't that skilled in it, who it was iffy for them, you know, they are the ones who have been taken advantage of the most. Those are the ones who did not move forward quick enough. There's still people out there who are nervous and scared to do anything. They're still nervous and scared to even accept an order because they're listening to all of these different voices, and then they all of a sudden realize that, wait a minute, I don't know if these people are telling me the truth. And then they're like, okay, hey, Griff, but for months they've been listening to this stuff they've heard here and there. They got wrong concepts. It's like, well, I thought I had to do this. And it's like, well, why did you think that? And some people will be like, I don't know. So I think, for most people, just stepping out on faith, just giving it a shot is the biggest thing that most people should do. Or if they could do it all over again, I think that's the part that would change the game. Is that more people will hop out there and just say, I'm gonna do this, and not worry about trying to be impressive, worrying about being a serial entrepreneur, any of that, but just get solid in the notary business and take advantage of the opportunity and stop looking for validation from people to say that, yes, you're going in the right direction with your business. Have a little bit more confidence in yourself. And I think I would have changed. I should have walked in that confidence. I had the confidence, I just didn't walk in it. Because I was like, I'm like, I was making excuses. And I know, and that's why I said I understand what y'all saying. But see, my excuses was more internal than external because I wasn't listening to anything on Facebook, YouTube, any of that. I wasn't in these groups. I wasn't getting mentored, for paid mentorship by people like that. So it was more so me and my personality and my own concerns and fears and things of that nature. She said God had a great plan for you, and I'm so glad that I found your YouTube channel when I did. Appreciate that, man. What I would change is treat notary as a business. When I first started, I just took orders occasionally, and that is what I'm hearing even now. Man, this cookie good. Man, this thing is good. It got the right amount of apple, cinnamon, nutmeg. I know it got vanilla in there, and probably got some pumpkin spice in there. It tastes good. But yeah, a lot of people, and there are people still doing this. They're taking orders occasionally. And I've had many conversations. I think I had one. Yeah, I had one today throughout the year where notaries are like, well, I don't know what this order means. I don't know what all of this is about. And there are some people, and me and the young lady, we had a good conversation. And I told her, I said, you want to know everything about this order before you take it. She said, yeah. And I said, then you need to stop doing this business because the way this business operates, you're not going to know. I know, man. Look, man, this Fritter Friday, man. We chill. Look, got a slice of cake too. Mm-hmm. I done had my dinner. Look, when it rains, I don't know about other people, but a lot of us Southern folk, when it rains, we like sweets. We like to eat sweets when it's raining and the wind is howling outside and all of that stuff. So when it rains, I was like, I'm gonna get me some sweets. Yeah, y'all probably, yep, there's that wind blowing. Got that tropical storm coming through. But you got to treat the notary, yeah, treat it as a business. And that's why, I mean, I was begging people to just take orders. And if y'all, and a lot of people, if they would have just taken orders and got their numbers up instead of worrying about the dollar amount, I'm telling you, you will have 300, 400 orders under your belt, maybe even 1,000. And just imagine what companies will be willing to, they'll be like, okay, you got experience, you know your stuff, bet. But when you don't and you didn't, it's like, it's like, you know, and and that same rhetoric is still out here today. Just, okay, let me be real with y'all. There are people out here, and you can't blame them, and I get it. They are very desperate and in need of money, and they want everything they do to always be 100% profit. Just like it always got to be, you know, I spent $3 to do it, and next thing you know, I sold it for $15. But you can't. Not everything is always a profit, and sometimes your profit comes in different ways. And then they get online and they share this, and there's nothing wrong with them sharing it. They have a right to. But see, this is where you got to sit back and like, okay. And this is something that I think many of you should have would have changed if you could go back and do it again. Be a little bit more cautious about who you listen to, or you're listening to them, but be more cautious about implementing it and taking it as gospel. And then, and not recognizing the personality of the person who's saying it. That person might be in a particular financial situation and $60 ain't cutting it for them. Okay, fine. I got it. But $60 could cut it for you. $100 don't cut it for you, but $100 could cut it for someone else. And that's one of the big things needed to change. And too many people focused on, I need to make the money. But then you say, why? The reason why is because that's what was promoted to them. That's what you saw. You saw all of these interviews and all of these testimonies, whether on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or at some conference or get together, that said, these people are making all this money. What's wrong with you? And it made you feel bad that you couldn't do the same. And you said, well, I can't be getting, the props like them at $60 a pop. I need more, I need to make more money. So what am I going to do? I know I'll spend more money on learning what to do than doing the job. And that's then one of the biggest things that I think a lot of people needed to change and should change is do the business more instead of sitting here trying to get educated so much about it. I've never heard a business where people talked about you need so much education in the notary business. And it's like, you need to know this business. You need to really get educated. You always got to be taking training. And I'm like, do I really need to be taking training that much just to stamp a document? And it says, I definitely listen to Griffin, have gotten steady. Yeah. And see, Caprinas, me and him talk, and he's been doing great. And he says, I am at the place where I get 5 where 5 get you 10, 10 get you 15. That is right. I mean, again, there have been so many times where I've done orders that was small in dollar amount, but the opportunity that it led me to later on was big. Case in point, I did a signing. I got buck 25 for it. Okay. Or C note 25, as we say where I come from. I was out there late at night, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I was out there for a good little while. Had all these little complications and stuff. Had to get witnesses. They was trying to get the husband to be a witness. I was like, nope, nope, he can't be at Florida property. They say the husband can't be. So this young lady got this guy to come out there and be a witness. I met him briefly for literally like maybe 5 minutes. Next thing I know, here it is about a month later. He's calling me and I'm like, hey, hey, what's going on, man? And I'm like, okay, well, and you are? And he was like, I'm Miss Pam's friend. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I know you. Yeah. I said, did you know when I met it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I said, okay, what can I do for you? This young man, 20 some years old, is trying to be well, not even trying to be, he is a a real estate investor. And then he's buying a franchise. I don't know which type of franchise he's buying or if it's a real estate franchise, but nonetheless, he's a real estate investor and he's buying into a franchise. Well, he needed paperwork notarized. But when he called, it was at rush hour, and I was doing a pop up live with my YouTube channel members, and I was like, I don't know if I can get to him, and if I do, it's gonna be like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And he was like, man, I need to get this done tonight. I said, well, send me the documents. He sent them to me. I realized I said, okay, yeah, we can do this online. I said, okay, we can do it online. He said, we can. I said, yeah. He said, well, I need to take a shower. I said, you go take a shower. I'm gonna get the doc set, and then we'll get together in about 20, 30 minutes. Got together and he said, hey, can you videotape it? So I took my phone and I had it off to the side over here, videotaping my screen because he wanted to put it out there for content, I guess, on TikTok or whatever, showing him doing the signatures and everything. He was so elated. He was very excited about that. And I was like, okay, cool. Now, I made a good dollar amount on the original order, but they had me out there for like an hour and a half. So if you take the conventional wisdom of, we got to, the time and the dollar, because everybody wants to calculate it, I don't think I really netted that much money. What I was out there taking into account everything, like everybody say, the drive out there, which was about 35 minutes, drive back is about 35 minutes, out an hour and a half or so out there with them, all the ups and downs and this and that. So did I really make a good solid 125 for what should have only took 40 minutes? Nah. But what I'm getting from this young man who needed a run is a whole lot more. You see what I'm saying? So I took his order. I took that order, which was a stressful one, but I got it done. And guess what? The two people who I did it for, both of them are realtors and investors. So you see how this, and she was the one who told him, get with Griff to know, get your documents notarized. And we got them notarized at the state fee of $25 a pop, 3 notarizations. Boom. This is what I'm talking about. Now, most notaries, nah, I ain't doing that. They would try to charge $300-400 for it, but no, state mandated fee. I've shared with y'all before. I've done Ron closings for title companies here in my area, and they say, "Hey, we just got this one power of attorney. No problem, $25." They're like, "That's it?" I said, $25. But then they end up hiring me to do a Ron closing for them at a much higher rate. So this is business. And what a lot of people, and good to see you there, Mary. One of the biggest things that I think a lot of you would change, as the young lady said at first. No, 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 no. She said started soon. Or you said I would have treated it as a notary business. I would have treated it as a business. And when you operate as a business, business is about revenue coming in, about how you find more money coming in. That's what it's all about. And those $20 orders, those $50 orders, those $200 orders, they all add up to revenue. And that's what's missing in a lot of notaries' lives. Hold on one second. Let me make sure. Oh, okay. Okay. Son just let me know he don't have to go to work tomorrow. Okay. So that's the thing. And that's part of the reason why I feel that I'm more successful than what I could have been had I not understood business. If I didn't understand business, I would have just went with the high dollar amount. But because I understood the flow of business, that there's some small orders, there's some large orders, like my man said, five gets you 10, 10 gets you 15, 15 gets you 20. I was like, and then you take that old proverb about, the proverb of the gifts, gave one, one person one talent, another one five talents, another one 10. And the person with the one talent didn't invest it, just buried it, didn't put forth any effort, didn't do anything with it. And I looked at the notary business as that one talent. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna work this sucker and I'm gonna find a way to make this thing happen. And now things are really coming to fruition. I'm starting to get more direct clients. I'm starting to get more Ron work. I literally had a $25 Ron, a buck $75 Ron, and then another one from the same company. With and that was within like a 4-day period of time. Are you available? Then I did a Ron this morning. So it's happening. It and then I got my direct home builder. I got four next Friday at 2 C notes apiece. I'm not saying this as a bragging point. I'm saying this to get y'all to understand that at some point in time, you're going to have to back the train up and say, okay, let me get myself back on track and let me take this business and let me do this notary as a business and stop playing around and just listening to all of the foolishness that some of these people are saying. A lot of people who are claiming also that they don't, about the money with the notary. I'm telling you, if you look at their life, they got other stuff going on. They got a spouse that's making decent money. They making decent money doing it part time. Doing their business, that full time, but the notary business for part time. They got other businesses that they're doing. They got real estate coming in. Who knows? They got all kinds of stuff. So the notary is just like a thing that they can try to do and see what they can make happen. But for a lot of people I'm coming across, this is their bread and butter. They need this to work so that they can make the money. There are people who are 40 and above that are trying to solidify their retirement or at least add a little extra. So they don't have time to be doing 5 or 6 different businesses. They just need to do one or two so that they can move forward with some, and with the finances. And that's what they're looking for. Let's say, and LaShonda says it's about making positive connections, and being there for people. So even tonight, I mean, I'm about to click the button to go live, and the order came in, and I said, okay, let me answer it. And I'm looking, and like I said, I thought it was for tomorrow, but then the guy called me and said, nah, you can do it anytime this weekend. Boom. I was like, bet. I think it was for 90 bucks. I want to say 90, I think. Um, I think something like that. But nonetheless, this is my first time. Okay, just so y'all can understand, one of my rules that I have when it comes to doing 75, and it's probably in the guarantee, probably not even that big of the package. One of my rules is if I've never done a closing for a company, the first time I see an order from that company, of course I don't know that I'm gonna see it, but when I see an order from a company that I never done business with, done a closing with, I'm saying yes. I don't care what the order is. I don't care what they're paying. I'm saying yes. Now that goes against what most people will tell you. No, you need to investigate and look and read and figure out who this company is and what they're all about and what do they mean. Yes, the answer is yes. What's that old song? Yes, Lord, yes, to your will and to your way. I say yes, Lord, yes. I trust you and obey. When the Spirit speaks to me, when the notification comes to me, my whole heart I will agree. My answer will be yes to the notification. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. And that's my mentality. The orders comes in. Now, of course, some people will say, "Well, see, Griff, you're the reason why no, I'm not the reason why anybody getting low fees or pay or nothing. I am not, and neither are you. You do what you got to do to make the money for you." So it says here, Miss Tara says, hold on, let me go back to some of these here. Doors open when you least expect. Yep. Hi, y'all. Sorry to jump in, but you helped me out today and it went well. And now they're giving me another one on Monday. So thanks again for answering the phone. Yeah, I will answer the phone. See, I understand what people need. And this is no like, oh, pass on back. No, no, no. Either you do or you don't. I understand people need to talk to somebody sometimes. So you call them, I answer the phone. You email me, I'm gonna respond back. Sometimes I forget. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I do forget because I got like 15 different emails. You text me, I'm almost easier to than respond via text. That's why I always tell people when you email me, include the phone number. Because sometimes I'll just pick the phone up and call you and talk. It's like, hey, what's going on? But that's really what it's about. And here's the thing. How much further would a lot of notaries be if those people who was constantly worrying about selling something would just sometimes pick up the phone and just answer the question? Just say, yeah, this is what it is. Oh, no, that's not what it is. Instead of, okay, when you hit my cash app, and the person then is like, okay, why did I have to pay $75? And you're not even thinking and you're not even listening to them no more because you're upset that you had to pay $75. I do marriages for the good, for free, for goodwill. Then later I get 401k, property title changes, POAs, etc. at the going rate. I also tell them I fully charge for divorces and all of that. That's cool. I think every notary, yeah, Bill Soroka. I, I mean, he said in 2018 when I first came in, the market's going to change. It's going to shift. Stuff is going. It goes up. It go down. Build relationships. Get out there and get experience under your belt. That's what I did. Then I came along on the scene publicly in 2020 saying what? Take as many orders as you can. And there were so many people. If y'all, those of you who've been rocking with me, like Mary Trice, there was so many people that was like, I ain't taking all these orders. I ain't doing this. And Mary is one of them who was like, she was just taking orders and she working a full time, but I think, yeah, she was working a full time job and she doing great. And it's amazing how people are like, you say go work, and they're like, no, I ain't doing that. But you that same person will be fussing and cussing at their spouse or significant other if they weren't out there working, bringing money in for the family. So I was like, just go work, go work. And then when the market shift, and Mary knows when I was talking about that, and when things shifted, and here's the thing, what shifted first was the signing companies taking new notaries. That shifted, and they said $80. I mean, 80 signings and so forth and so on. And Mary was the first one who told me about a signing company saying you didn't have enough under your belt, that you needed 200, I think she said. That was the first shift. And when that happened, all bets are off. So now you got them saying you need to have 200 signings or 2 years experience, or and then you had the market that shifted and then they couldn't get business. They was going out of business. Then you had notaries who said, I only do refis, I don't do purchase, I don't do sales, I don't do HELOCs. I don't do reverse mortgage. I don't do debt settlements. I don't do loan mods. And then when the market shifted and all of those things came into play, you had no experience to do any of them. And then me and several others were rocking and rolling because what? We had experience in doing those. And then said three things I took away from the channel that helped me to be consistent with my business when you broke down the cost of printing, last minute orders, and your accountant spoke. Yeah, the true cost of printing. I got a video out there about the true cost of printing. When you really understand the true cost of printing, it don't cost that much to print. And if it does, it's because you went out and overspent on the paper. Now, it costs maybe, I would say, probably 6 cents a sheet, close to 6 cents. Because back then it was two. It was really a solid 2 cents a sheet that it was costing to print. Now it might be closer, maybe 5 or 6 cents a sheet, but it's still a tax deduction that you get. And that's the benefit, taking last minute orders. I mean, that's what I did today. And I was going to do a recording with a signing company owner. And because I took because the last minute order was supposed to be at 7, then the lady was like, no, I want to do it at earlier. And then with the rain and this and that, I just couldn't even get back home in time to record with her. So we're going to do it next week. But I make a lot of my bread and butter comes from last minute signings. And the order came in less than an hour ago, and guess what? It was a last minute one for tomorrow. And I was like, okay. And then I had a last minute run for Monday. Did one on Sunday, and then they were like, well, can you do the other person for this transaction on Monday? Yes. Somebody called me up. Can you do one same day? A title company? Yes. I find a way to say yes. My direct client next Friday, they were like, yes. Now, of course, that's a little bit further out. But when they called and asked, my answer to them is yes, unless I truly have a reason not to. Happy Friday to you, Akita, Ronnie. What you humming about? You must would you humming? That's how you put yourself to sleep, like little babies be doing. Babies be humming, and then they're sitting, they done passed out. And then Mary said, I still work full time. Yep, I remember that conversation. Stay focused, keep it moving forward. I only focus on the jobs I get, not the ones I don't. Do great work. The jobs will come. She is saying it. She's saying it correctly. LO, do you give trainings on the different documents? No. I mean, honestly, no, because that's where you start getting into trying to understand what the different documents are saying, what they mean. What is it, or a reverse mortgage versus a refi or a HELOC or a hybrid and all of that. What it boils down to is you got to notarize some signatures, and that's going to be the same. I asked the lady, agreeing. I asked a lady yesterday. I said, when you and let me paint the scenario for you. She's taking training. She knows how to do the job of a notary. She's done some signings for this one particular company. And it was a purchase order came out, and they wouldn't assign it to her. They told her, you've never done one before. We don't see that in your profile. People talk about you don't need to do your profile, but they're looking in her profile and don't see that she's done a purchase. So she talked to them, and they eventually gave it to her, and she did it and did it fine. So I asked her, I said, outside of the document itself, or is the content above the signature of the signers, or is what you supposed to do, what was the difference between a purchase and a seller's package? And she said nothing. She said, because the notarial certificates that I've seen in purchases were in the sellers. She did the sellers first. and the sellers was in that purchase. So it was the same exact thing. So now the question becomes, if the notarial statements for us, our part is the same, then what is it that's different that we really need to know about this document for as a purchase versus a seller? Because yes, the seller has those tax documents in there. But am I allowed to go into those tax documents and talk about them? The answer is no, unless you got some training that supports that. If you do, then cool. If you don't, then you got to leave it alone. And Virginia law even says that. Virginia law says, if unless you have been duly trained in that field that you're trying to advise somebody on concerning those documents, you got to keep your mouth shut. So if you got a tax background and you can advise them, I guess you go for it. In Virginia, you go for it. You just got to be able to stand 10 toes down if somebody said that you gave them some wrong advice. So when you say the different types of documents, the question then becomes, what is it? And this isn't trying to be funny or anything, Raquel. This is, I ask everybody that. If you say you want to know the different types of documents, because you're not saying that you want to make sure you understand how to notarize, you want to understand the documents. So, in understanding the documents, what is it that you need to understand? What is it that you feel you need to know about the documents? And is that information you going to gain concerning the documents? How does that help you in the notarizational part that you have to do? That's the big question. And I'm asking you these questions and everybody because these are the same questions that I had to ask myself, because I was under the impression, okay, this is what people was telling me coming into the business, new, not knowing a whole lot, and people telling me you need to understand these documents. So, case in point, okay, so let me pull something up here for you. And scuba da da. Take this off. Let me see. Make sure I got the right document. Okay. Okay. Yep. Yep. This is the one that I redacted. Okay. So let's do some document training here real quick. As it says here, hey Griff, are you and the guys coming back to do? Yes, we are. We Q moved down to Florida and he has reunited with his family. He hasn't been around a lot of his family for a while. So right now he's just getting himself reestablished down in Florida. Open, then started still doing captivated notary, and then he has another one called Black Hat Design Company that he just started. And what else he's doing? He's getting his notary commission and doing some other stuff. So him and his kids, he has two kids, they're just getting themselves, he's a single dad, getting themselves solidified, reconnecting with his pops, his sisters, and all of that. So we just opted to say, okay, we just gonna not do anything for a moment and just give him time to get himself together, get everything organized and set up, and then we're gonna come back and do some stuff. But yeah, me and him was actually talking about that last week and everything. And my schedule is the most, I guess. Well, I don't say flexible. I'm like, yeah, whenever you want to do it, whenever you want to do it. Matthew be going to bed early, so sometimes Matthew be going to bed at 2 at 10 at night and all of that and stuff. So it said if someone calls and asks, "Can I notarize a HELOC or reverse mortgage?" Are those documents that a loan signing? Yes, and see, it's not even about being a loan signing agent, it's about being a notary. Those are documents that a notary can do. Because sometimes when you put that category of being a loan signing agent, that's when people are like, well, can a loan signing agent do it? If you look at yourself as a loan signing agent, there's certain restrictions that come with some titles. And people tend to restrict what loan signing agents do versus what a notary. You're a notary and everything. So in this case here, this here is what I'm getting ready to show you now. Let me get this together. Yeah, take that down and move me. So this here is a hybrid. It's 41 pages. Okay. So here's the instructions telling you here, use blue ink. Um, all of that. So you got your instructions. The notary acknowledges that they read the instructions, COVID-19 stuff. Then the next thing you know, you got a whole bunch of privacy information. Okay. Then telling you what to do with the documents, return them. Then they got a whole bunch of closing instructions in here that really isn't for us, it's for them. But it talks about the right to cancel, all that closing instructions, some more, and then the closing agent. And it's not us, it's the Discover Bank closing agent. They're the ones who do that. And then their initial, and then it goes into the right to cancel. Okay. One of the big things people talk about the dates of the right to cancel. If the right to cancel date is that, and you don't, and if it's wrong, all you got to do is pull up the NNA's right to cancel calendar, and they'll tell you what's the correct date. So today is this date, and it should be, and it'll be whatever date. So they got the right to cancel. In this case, they had one, two, I think three of them to sign each. Yep, she had three to sign. He had three. Promissory note. They initial it. Boom. And then they sign it. The deed of trust. They initial all of those pages. And then they sign a date. You do your thing, and you're done. So then this here compliance agreement. And then now let me share something with y'all on this compliance agreement. And I do not like this one because let's pay attention here. You'll notice something. It doesn't have the venue up here, and it only has county. It doesn't have state of. So what you're going to have to do, and this is what I do when I have it, I just write in all caps. I write in state of, Virginia, and then I put the county down here. Let's just say I'll say Norfolk and everything, and then over here, you know, I'm doing my signature, my expiration, and then I print my name. Now I don't write the smallest, so I actually start off a little bit like over here, so my name can fit all the way on that line, and then I stamp it, and that's and that's it. So you can just hand write in the state. You could have probably did it over here, or you could have did it under here. Some people will go state of and then county of down here and won't touch this part. But I just fill that in right there. Signature affidavit, just fill that out. And then his corrections agreement. And the thing is, they get to see a lot of these documents they see ahead of time. And if you ask them and they say, yes, I've already seen them, why would you try to explain something that they've already seen? There's no need to. There's no need to. You can tell them, say, okay, this here is your corrections agreement and limited power of attorney. What does that mean? If you don't understand what corrections agreement mean, if you don't understand what limited power of attorney means, you see what I'm saying? Well, no one now see, no one has told me not to there. And see, when adding an all-purpose acknowledgement, let's go back to that. Okay, add an all-purpose acknowledgement when all I had to do was just add in that. So pull out a whole all-purpose acknowledgement when I could have just added in this. And I understand what you're saying. See, my question would be, why didn't they just go ahead on and put the state of county up? Because that's really what you that's the decision that what we're at is this has everything that I need in it except it's missing this. So now I got to go pull out an all-purpose acknowledgement, fill all that out, this, that, and the other. Mm, now if this here did not have the elements that my state says it needs to have, then yes, most definitely, I'll pull it out. Or if it was split on two different pages, right? And that's key. So either way is actually fine. Now the problem comes in is if you don't pay attention and you miss this altogether. If you actually, I don't know, I don't even know if you actually miss this altogether and you don't even realize that the venue is missing, that becomes the problem. So you got to make sure you under that you don't miss that a venue is missing. That's what the biggest problem is. Did you miss that the venue is missing? If you did, that's a problem. But that's a good point that Oswald made. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. And then you have this here, and then down here is where you will put their name in, put the people's name here, down here, because this was acknowledged in front of you on this date by these people. What is acknowledged? Them acknowledging that they read and understood this thing here. Whatever this says, they acknowledge that they read it and understood and or agree with it, and everything. Always the hiring company don't want me documenting the docs, so I won't. And I agree. Yeah, there are some companies they don't want you messing with them, and if they tell me not to, then I don't. So far they haven't said anything, but if they did, I would most definitely adjust. Um, we can edit our notarial block and nothing else in the doc. And see that's the thing. Now this is what can make it, from my understanding, the notarial block is for us to make sure that it's correct in accordance with our state law. So if the only thing is missing is the venue, or the venue is incorrect, then you fix it. But then there are some people, and I've had some Texas closings where they were like, don't change anything, even the venue. So I add an all-purpose acknowledgement. If they don't want me changing anything whatsoever, then I'm adding an all-purpose acknowledgement. And then the good old um Patriot Act. This just says it requires two forms of ID, one from here, and then one from this list. And then we sign it, date it, print our name, and then our title. And again, I'm telling the whole world, let me come. I'm telling the whole world with my cookie in hand, I put notary. I don't put loan signing agent. I don't put notary signing agent. I don't write LSA. I don't write NSA. I put notary. Now, I do understand it from what I've been told multiple times. California says don't put notary if the document isn't getting notarized. Okay, then you do you. But I'm not California. I'm Virginia. So what would okay, here's a question then. What does a person who's in a title office who didn't take any of these people's courses, who didn't take the NNA stuff, that's a notary, what do they put down? What do they put down? That's the question. How do they look at themselves? They look at themselves as a notary. So I look at my title is notary. That's what I'm commissioned as in the state of Virginia. That's how I'm operating. I understand all this NSA, LSA, GSA, and all of that kind of stuff, but I'm operating on behalf of my state. Correct. And the big thing is, this does not get notarized. There's no notarial language on here, so a notary should not be putting their stamp on this document. Then the one for them, loan payoff, they sign a date, and that's it. Oops, my bad. Yeah, my bad. So here's the second one. The notary should not be stamping this. And then they fill out that one, loan payoff, they sign, and end the story. And that's it. So it's real easy. So yes, we can do, as the young lady was asking, if somebody calls and asks, can you notarize a HELOC? Yes. If they have some, and that's what you just saw, a HELOC or a reverse mortgage, yes, you can. I don't have. Let me see here. I'm trying to see. Trying to see. Okay, yeah. There's one. So let me show y'all. So you got the reverse mortgage, okay? Because I had to. Let me show y'all on this reverse mortgage. So 182 pages. This is a small one from my experience. Up here. So these are the loan application. They sign it up here at the top. And then here, this they do not. And I put this in blue on purpose. This is the loan originator. Let me zoom in a little bit. They do not, nobody signs for the loan originator, okay? They don't. Then their signature here. This is on the loan application. It says borrower. That says loan originator. Don't have them sign where they're not supposed to. Don't you sign because you're not the loan originator. And then I believe that is it on that. And then now, as with any, the addendum, the HUD addendum, they sign. The people who sign it is who's listed here. And then they sign. And then they sign. Sorry if I'm going too fast. Philip signs on the left. Karen signs on the right. On this page and this page. Now, The big thing about, all of that's the other pages. Here's the biggest thing. And sorry about that. Come over here so y'all don't be making nobody dizzy while I scroll through. Okay. All right. So here's the biggest thing with the reverse mortgages. This right here. And you say, what's the big deal? The date fields are over here off to the side. This is the biggest issue right here. You have to make sure that they sign, and as I call it, go across the river and date. And when you're dealing with some elderly folk, they might not, they get tunnel vision and they just look here, and because they don't see a date here, they won't date it. You have to remind them to make sure that they date over here. And all of the pages end up being like that. The signature on one side, the date on the other. All of these numbers and stuff, you ain't even got to worry about them because they've already had counseling. And that's all you'll see throughout this here. As you see, they just sign and then they sign. Home equity conversion mortgage. Okay, the loan agreement. This here's what, I think 7 pages or something like that. And then they sign and date. I mean, see, this is why I don't understand why people talk about I'm scared of reverse mortgages. I don't want. This is all they doing. Through 100, this is the HUD one. They look at this. Sometimes there's something. There's a dollar amount down here that's coming to them. Sometimes it's not, because they may not be taking money out at that time. And thanks for hitting the like button, everybody. And then they sign a date. And it seemed like they got the date thing even further apart on this one. But that's it. I mean, literally, people, you're just going through and having them sign and date. This is why I don't understand why people tell me I ain't doing no reverse. Those are hard. What's so hard about it? Because what you need to understand is that they have counseling sessions with them. The reverse mortgage officer has a counseling session with them. And through the counseling session, they are educated as to what everything is. So when you get there, there ain't nothing for you to say. When you get there, sometime the reverse mortgage loan officer is there. So there's really nothing for you to say. So all you're doing is making sure they are who they say they are. They sign, you notarize, and you're out. That's it. Um, Trying to find. Hold on. Trying to find a notarial section for y'all. Here we go. And this is so their name. And what is this? I think this is the deed. Or yeah, this is the deed. Their name and then acknowledgement. This acknowledgement, outside of the little fancy thing I put around the border, is no different than any acknowledgement that you seen. State the venue, the notarial statement, your signature, your commission expires, your registration number, and your seal. So tell me, where's the difference at? That's what I'm trying to help y'all to understand. Where's the difference at? You get what I'm saying? Where's the difference? And that's a notarial seal. That notarial statement can be on any document. The only difference will be the name Philip and Sharon. They changed that to Earl and Ethel. No one at the signing table signs this. Company name. That's who does this, not the notary. And then they got the right to cancel, just like any other. And then what? They do not sign here. They do not sign here. They sign down here. And they got multiple right to cancels. 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 3 of them each. And then they sign this flood insurance certificate. They sign that. Tax paperwork, just the same as anything else. They sign. I mean, help me understand what's so hard about this. And yeah, you might have 350 pages. Yeah. And I've had a 300-page one that I printed twice. Yeah. If you don't know, if that's the only reason why you don't want to do it, I get it. I get it. I honestly do. I get it. You don't have to. You don't want to do that. That's fine. Notice to borrow. Where is it? Look, here's another notorious area. What's so different? What is so different? The venue, the date, your name, their name, your signature, still. That's all there is to it. So this is why I'm saying don't pigeonhole yourself with these titles of I'm a loan signing agent. And that's the one thing. See, for me, I don't have to go back and correct that because I didn't adopt that mentality of I'm a loan signing agent. But for some of you, that's what you may need to do. Gotta taste my cake now. Nice little lemon cake there. I love reverse mortgages. I've never had a problem with them. They always have the numbers right, and the people be feeding me. You can't go wrong there. You can't go wrong there. So I'm like, I'm good with it. You see what I'm saying? I'm good with it. So you can notarize any of that. Now, where's that young lady? Here's my number in the chat. If you ever get stuck on anything, Raquel Morton, if you ever get stuck on anything, call me. Just call me. If you're concerned, if you're iffy about something, whether you can do it or not, call me. The only thing you need to make sure you understand how to do is properly notarize in accordance with your state law. And if you do that, I'm telling you, you're going to be fine. It doesn't matter what the document says for the most part over their signature, unless it's something that's going to help you to understand who signs it. So in other words, if there's a line there and it doesn't have um who's supposed to sign it, whether it's Fred and Ethel or whatever, if it doesn't have anything on there, um, then you're like, okay, who signs this? Then you might need to glance through the document to get an idea. Oh, okay, they're talking about the borrower, they're talking about the seller. Okay, they're talking about now I know who signs it. So, and again, my 2 rules of notarization. You're only dealing with the person in front of you, and you give the document what it's asking for. Case in point. Let's go back to this here. Okay, let me show y'all something. Okay, so right here, signature of HUD representative on whatever the heck this document is. Let's go take a look. So notice to borrow. So they do that. So your home equity mortgage was insured on. They do that. And then you come down here and they read all of this. And then it says signature of HUD representative. And if I'm not mistaken, I had that read because they're the ones who's supposed to fill that out, not us. And if somebody knows something different, feel free to drop it in there and let me know. But from my understanding, they're the ones who fill that out. It says signature of HUD representative. The first question you have to ask yourself, is the HUD representative there with you? If the answer is no, then you ignore this document because you can't have somebody sign it who doesn't supposed to sign it and who's not there. It's that simple. They signed this. Now, here's what kicks a lot of notaries in the butt. Who's supposed to sign this? We all understand this is a notarial certificate. It even says on this date before me, and then you put your name here. So the way it's supposed to go is Virginia, Norfolk, as an example, the date, for me, appeared. I'm just going to type, signer's name. And then down here, what goes down here? Notary signature. That's how this gets filled out. This is what we're supposed to do. And if you can't do this, then you're not going to be able to do good in this business whatsoever. You really aren't. You're going to be struggling forever because you're worried about, okay, so let me make sure I understand this compliance agreement. Let me explain this to them and all of that. And if you decide to go down that road, you have every right to do so. You can do that. You just got to make sure you do this part right. If you're not doing the area underneath this line correctly, then there's a problem. If you're not doing this correctly, then there's a problem. You got to be doing this part correctly. You got to get this part right. And because we're the ones who's supposed to be getting it right. And if we can't get it right, then who's going to do it correctly? We got to do this part right. And that's all I'm asking y'all to do. That's all the state is asking us to do. That's all. Let me come back to y'all. That's all everybody who hires us and pays us money, they're asking us to do one thing and one thing only, the job that we've been commissioned to do. So I hope that everybody will take a step back and say, you know what, if I had to do it all over again, I will make sure I know how to be a notary. If I had to do it all over again, I will make sure that I'm solid and solidified in being a notary. Bump all this pop locking and woo-hoo, dancing, forget all of the little get-togethers and all of that. I know how to be a notary. That's the big thing. If I was y'all, I'd be like, if I had anything to change, it would be my approach to this business. And I'm going to approach it from the standpoint of what I was commissioned to do, which was what? Notarize the signatures on a document. That's it. Now the question then becomes, why can't you just do that? What is so hard with you just doing that and doing it correctly? We worried about all this other stuff. Why can't you just do what the state has asked you to do and be happy? Because think about it. When you're doing things when you're at work and you constantly see this person, it's like, why are you always doing that stuff? Your job is to do this. but you keep doing this other stuff. Maybe they're not happy with their job. Maybe they don't feel fulfilled. And many people probably don't feel fulfilled as being a notary as it's currently constructed, and you want something more. So we do what? We add a little spice to it. The problem is that spice that you add and causing you to be illegal with it. If it is, you need to stop. Or as many of you probably won't do, you won't stop. You'll keep doing it until you get caught. And then you're going to be up there. Y'all pray for me. I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, thanks. Sounding like a daggone tire losing the air. I'm just saying, I mean, I've been doing this for so long. I don't know why all of a sudden now they want to start going by the handbook. I mean, yeah, the handbook doesn't say it, but come on now. Come on. Nah, nah. If you can't do what your state has asked you to do, then you don't need to be in this business. That's the simple truth. If you can't do what you're supposed to do in your marriage, if you can't do what you're supposed to do as my son or daughter, if you can't do what you're supposed to do at your job, then you probably don't need to have that in your life. Why do the courts take parental rights away from people? Because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing as a parent. So why would this be any different? Why do you want everybody in the world to give you permission and allow you to do whatever the heck you want to do when the law and when the statutes says different? And you want us to recognize the fact that you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, but you don't want nobody to deal with you, and you don't want to receive any punishment for what you're not doing. You want them to, hey, you want kudos and praises for all of this stuff that you made up to do, all of this stuff somebody else made up and told you to do, and you doing it, and yeah, you making all kind of money, but you're doing it wrong. You're illegal and stuff. It says here, stay away from the money grabbing, in course of LSHs, all of that certified grocery carrier, certified international. Yeah, people be coming up with some of everything. One of my signings today had all the the notary pre-filled out, which was awesome. But you're absolutely correct. We must learn how to notarize in order to be a great notary. That's it. Ronnie, she's Ronnie. Me and her talk a couple of times a month, and she is doing an excellent job down there in Florida. She really is. And if y'all down there in Florida, now she doesn't do training, but if you ever want to understand how to do this business correctly, she's the person to talk to if you down there in Florida. But and then hey, what's going on to you there, Terry? I'm telling you, being a notary is simply this. Are you gonna follow the rules or you're not? And so many people, we was in the clubhouse. Oswald was in there with me. And he heard me. My attitude is this. Stop worrying about what the state handbook doesn't say you can do and make sure you do what it does say you can do. I totally agree. I would have changed my own fear in the first month and took a bunch of orders, vice. The two I eventually took once I realized I didn't need to teach the documents and just notarize. I'm telling you, y'all don't understand. Many of you probably don't understand that there are notaries out here who are like, I've taken 4 or 5 courses and nobody's giving me a job. And the people keep coming up with excuses as to why they won't give me an assignment. And they're starting to see that all that hype about this money and that money isn't there. something that I realized that on average, I'm getting 60% of the notary fee. The notary, whatever the notary fee is lately, I've been getting 60% of that. 50% overall, I would say, throughout my time being a notary. But this month, a lot of the notary fees, when I see them on the thing, and I showed the members, those people who are YouTube channel members, they seen it, and I showed them. I was like, I'm getting more than what the signing company getting. So a percentage wise, yes, I'm getting more than what the signing company makes per order. Now, is that the right dollar? Is that dollar amount what I like? Because some of you are like, well, like I got 60 for order that I did on Sunday. The signing fee for the signing company was 80. That means they took home 20. Now, a percentage from percentages, that is great. Now, the dollar amount, you're like, no, I ain't doing nothing for 60. But just imagine if somebody told you, I will give you, I will keep only $20 out of everything I'm gonna pay you. Regardless of what the fee is, I'm gonna give you $20 out of everything I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna keep 20 and you'll keep the rest. You'll be like, yeah. If somebody got 80 and they gave you 60, you'll be like, okay, I'm making out. So the question then becomes, why aren't we making out? How come we can't make out with $60 consistently, $80 consistently? There's times where the fee was 150 and I got 135. Why can't you make it with that? Big Mama and them made it with that. They took that little bit of money, that little bit of this, that little bit of that, and made a whole lot to the point that you didn't even know you was poor. You didn't even realize you was in the third generation you the third generation in the same set of pants that your cousin uncle's brother had on, because Big Mama and Pop knew how to make things happen in your life to where you didn't even realize you was poor. You didn't even know you were struggling. You didn't even know you was in the hood until somebody told you was in the hood. And you're like, what do you mean in the hood? And you was eating just as good as them, sleeping just as good as them, having just as much fun as them, because the people around you made it happen. So if they can make it happen, then why can't you make it happen? I'm putting forth every effort to make it happen. I get that 60, I'm gonna make it happen. I get that 200, I'm gonna make it happen. I get that 150, I get that 50, I get that 20, I'm gonna make it happen. Because if none of you will ever stop or ever have stopped and picked up a $20 bill off the ground, a $5 bill off the ground, if you've never done that in your life or never would do that, then I understand your position for is I'm not going to take an order that's below this dollar amount. But if you picked up a dime, penny, you picked up anything off the ground that you knew wasn't yours, but you knew by taking it, it would then become yours, then why you can't take these orders? And that's all it is. Taking, you see $5 on the ground, you look around, nobody's there, you take it, and it becomes yours. You see this order comes in, nobody's taking it, you take it, it becomes yours. And what it said, I saw a video where the notary trainer said they were going to put so many realtors and escrow officers in front of notaries to be able to network, yet you have to. Hmm. Whew, I don't even want to say the rest of that sentence, but you have to pay for it. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Hmm. I guess what do we okay, realtors, escrow officers in front of notaries. to network. The question is the notary, the first question is this: does the realtor have a client that needs the escrow work so that you can use a notary? Because if you don't have the work, if you ain't got business coming in, then what's the point of even, you know what I'm saying? I don't see, for me, I don't need to network. All you need to know is, hey, I'm available. I'm full time. So if I'm an escrow officer, are you full time or part time? Okay, let's take this here. We got a room of 50 notaries. Everybody who's full time, step over here. Everybody who's part time, step over there. Now, if you full time, this is what I need from you. If you're part time, this is what I need from you. For free, I tell you now. Which one now? So give me all your numbers. Okay, I got your information. I got your information, and then I will start sending orders out. That's all I need. I don't need to be sitting there drinking. I don't need to be sitting up there eating no cheese and all that kind of stuff. All I need to know, do you need a full-time notary? Yeah or nay? Do you want the notary to come in? Do you want the notary to be out there in the field? That's what I need to know. All of this here, and see what people don't realize, realtors don't know nothing about what notaries do. And realtors aren't even going to, very few of them are going to do anything for us. Okay, let me go get this notary. Very few. Very few. They leave that up to who? The escrow. Because they want to control that situation. So, okay. And see, then the question then becomes this. And I'm glad you said that, Kimple. Here's the question. Is the escrow officer and realtors, and really I gotta move the realtors out because they ain't got nothing to really to say to us for us what we do. Is the escrow officer going to tell me to do things that's in violation of my state law? Because the trainer and the escrow officer are they sitting there colluding to make me act like a W-2 employee by dictating what I do rather than trust me in what I'm supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? Because you have to make sure that, okay, if I'm an independent contractor, you just, what do you need done? Well, we need these documents, the signatures on these documents notarized. Roger that. How do you need me to deliver them back? Well, we need you to ship them and we need a scan so we can go on and get funding. Roger that. I go do my thing. All this other stuff, well, make sure you share this with them and share that and tell them okay, that's outside of the scope of what I'm supposed to be doing as a notary. And if the response is, well, yeah, I know, then why are you asking me? Because I'm not asking you to do anything outside of your role. And that's one of the things that it dawned on me about a year and a half ago. I'm like, people spend a lot of time telling the notary how we're supposed to operate. And what they want from us is not in line with our state law, whether general notary work or mortgage related work. It is not, it's like, well, you can do this and you do that and carry this and take that and ship this. And it's like, no, that's not what I'm supposed to do. What the other notaries did. So why can't you? And some people will be willing to throw some money your way. They'll throw some money your way. $250 just, oh, what the heck happened to all of the marketing, sending postcards? Why I gotta go pay? I just paid money. I just spent money on postcards. I just went to Vistaprint or Canva and made up postcards and stuff. So now I gotta go physically sit in a room at 250 a pop to meet people who I just sent a letter to or a postcard to. Y'all let that sink in for a second while I eat the last piece of this cake. But this is some good cake. I spend $250 on marketing material. I send it out. And now I got to go pay $250 to sit in front of somebody that I just sent a postcard to, and they didn't even respond to it. They didn't respond to my email or nothing, and now I'm supposed to expect. So now, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. So let's say there's 6 escrow officers. Hold on. Let's do some math here. Let's do some math, people. All right. So I'm gonna figure this math out, and y'all, and feel free to chime in. So you got 6 escrow officers. So, and then let's say you got 50 notaries. So 50 divided by 6. So that means each escrow officer gets 8 notaries apiece. Okay. So each escrow officer gets 8 notaries apiece. The average notary wants to get paid 250 per signing. So that means that office is 250 times 8. That means if they just had one closing a month, they would have to put out $2,000. But each notary wants to pull in about 6. So you're talking about each notary pulling in $6,000. So you're talking about 6,000 divided by 250. That's 24. So that means you need 24 times 8. That means that signing company, that title company needs to have 192 orders a month in order for me to make the money that I personally want to make, that each one of us make 192 orders for that company. The question is, do they have it, and do they have it sustainably and long term, or is it just here and there? That's the question. You see, so the question is, do they have the work volume to support even 5 of us? Because I want to make 6 grand a month. Just throwing that out there. How do I make 6 grand a month? Do you have the business? Now, it's not that I'm not going to be available and do it. I just know, okay, well, I know that I can't put all my eggs in this basket. So y'all can only, because see, the question is, if they only have 6 people in that title office, the boss, the manager, the co-manager, and that leaves 3 workers. That leaves 3 people to work, or the boss, the manager, and then 4 workers. They got how much can they process and put out on a monthly basis? Do they have the connections to have 192 signings just for us 8 notaries? Either it's yes or no. This is how you got to think about business, people. It's not like, oh, I took a course and I'm gonna just start getting orders. Do the people who you're trying to get orders from have the business? If they don't have the business, then you have to be a little mindful about how you're going to work with them. Okay, so you can only realistically maybe 7 signings a month amongst 8 notaries. Somebody's going to be left out. And even if you did 20 signings a month, but that's between 8 notaries. So this is where the signing company thing comes in, where they got a whole lot going on out there. So it says here, notifications come in, I'm available, the order has been assigned. When marketing, yeah, be smart. Yeah, order has already been, yeah, I get that a lot. I will tell you, the closer LLC, that happens to me a lot. Bank serve and signature closers. But there are a lot of time, and then from time to time, accurate group, or to be gone. So this is why I tell y'all, you got to know your thing. Now, what I found out is that sometimes the notification gets to us late. So by the time I get the notification, they might have already seen it, hit it, and they gone. So that can happen. But yeah, I don't really need to be in front of an escrow officer. I just need to know that do you have work? I don't need to spend my night because I want to be home with my family. And I don't feel like spending, and I mean, how do I just, yes, it's a business expense. But if you never get any business from that, and of course they're going to say we can't guarantee. So I just can't see. Yeah, that's a lot of fluff. And then you got the thing of do free signings. And I think I'm gonna go on a club because we've been up here a while. So let me share this with y'all. And thank y'all for hanging in there. And don't go nowhere. The 33 people that's in here, hang in here for a second. And give me your feedback in the comment section when I say this next statement or this scenario, really. Okay, statement and scenario. The statement is for these quote unquote low orders and signing and a person telling you, maybe a title company, that notaries want to get paid lower. This is my thought on this. And I hear that a lot, and I've heard that the whole 5 years I've been in this business. What I've concluded is this: you have the title company, the direct client. So I need y'all know I like to use my props and stuff. So the phone is the direct client. Okay. I need something contrast in color. And then this here can of whatever this is, spray stuff, whatever, is signing company. Direct client, signing company. Direct client, signing company. The signing company, when they put an order out, how many of y'all actually respond back, I'm gonna do it lower? When the signing company puts the order out, how many of you hit the thing and say, I'm not going to accept it for the 75 you're doing. I want to accept it for lower. I'm not accepting it for the 125. I'm going to accept it for 95. How many people do that? Zero. When you're dealing with a title company and you know that there's other notaries that's been working for them and doing business with them, you tend to say, I can do it lower. People will negotiate with the title company, the direct client, to do an order for a lower fee. I've talked to many, many notaries, and I have not found one notary that has ever called a title company and said, I will do the work cheaper. When you put that order out for 150, I'm asking for less. No, for 60, I'm asking for less. For 100, I'm asking for less. No, we ask for more. So then the question then becomes, and this is what I said. So if we're asking for more from the signing company, then who is asking for less from who? And the only place that I can find that a notary would ask somebody to pay them less so they can get in with them is this direct client, where the lawyer, title company, signing, um, um, title company or the escrow officer or what, that's who they're dealing with. Because there's people out there who have said what? Volunteer your services. They don't say volunteer your services to the signing company. They say volunteer your services to the direct client. Why aren't you volunteering to the signing company? Why not you call up to the signing company and say, hey, the next 5 orders you got, I'll do it for free. That's the disingenuous part of this business. If you're gonna tell me to market this way to a direct client, then I need to market that way to a signing company. Why not? No, 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 no. Get all you can get from the signing company. Then why do I have to give so much and leave so much on the table with these other people who are not signing companies? That's the thing that I'm trying to figure out. But this is what we're being told to a direct client: do it for free, give them stuff, this, that, and the other. But they don't say nothing about that to the signing company. They don't. So it's a bunch of bullpucky to me. I I've never had a signing, I've never had a title company look for me to do free work for them. So for me to come in and do free work for them, they might not respect me as a business owner because I'm coming in trying to do stuff for free rather than having the confidence to know that I'm worth the dollar. See, it just hit me. It just hit me. It just hit me. How can you sit here and cry about your worth when you're sitting up here doing stuff for free? I'm worth this, I'm worth that. Now I know somebody will say, well, there's a time about giving free this, that, and the other. But I don't think most people going around complaining in Facebook and Clubhouse about get your worth. You're worth more than that. Hey, I can do 16 signings for you for free. Can I please have some signings for free, sir? I just need a little bit of signings for free. Eh, can I do that, please? Please, I will give them for you for free. I do not need your money. No money. No, 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 no. I know you want to pay me, but I do not want your money. I just want to do all of what I need to do for you for free. Man, please. I need my money so I can get my cookies. But my cookies ain't free. My cookies are not free. But this is what you're being told. And this is the part. And see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I know doggone well y'all are smart enough to figure this out that, you know what? This is a wool blanket. This is an actual wool blanket, and that's what they doing, pulling the wool over your eyes. Y'all know they doing that. Y'all know this, and y'all going to have to start standing up for yourself. Okay, y'all going to have to start standing up for yourself. I know people think I'm starting and stirring stuff up. I'm trying to get in here and get people to make some conscious because I'm telling you, some of this stuff that they doing out here that's taking advantage of people. Ooh, you do that to the wrong person, somebody gonna be rolling up on you. But that's what they doing. They pulling the wool, and you know they are. So snatch it off, deal with them. Because many of y'all talking about, I'm straight street, y'all sitting up here stacking and all of that. Okay. Not stamping, but stacking. All of that, okay. But that person just jacked you for 500. Why don't you go deal with it? But no, I ain't look, I ain't worried about all that, man. I mean, they got their hustle on, so nah. If I realize you just took me for money that I really shouldn't have paid you, we're gonna have a nice little conversation. Because if you don't pay them, they're gonna be coming at you. I'm just saying. You tell me somebody that you're supposed to be paying $500 or $600 to, and you don't give it to them, or they coming after you. They coming after you. But again, I know a lot of people, not necessarily y'all, but other folk out there don't like this kind of talk. But what I'm trying to do is to get y'all to understand there's a lot of charlatans out there. And now you notice I ain't said nothing about the signing companies. I know they do this, that, and the other, but I'm talking when you go to the signing company, guess what? You're going to them with all of the stuff that your trainer taught you. You can't even get free stuff at Goodwill. Don't even don't offer any free services to these companies. That's right. As a new notary, should I sign up with signing companies or just do the work call? All of it. You do all of it. And thank you for that question. You do all of it because this is your business and you're putting forth every effort to pull money in from the various different ways that are out there in your community. So sign up with the signing companies. Let them know you there. Go out there and do the work as it comes across your table. Make phone calls and do whatever farming for your business. You do all of that. That's what businesses are supposed to do. Now, I'm not talking about now. I mean, if you're doing free loan closings, that's what I'm not talking about the general notary work where you do like something like that. Hold on. Okay, Kim, I got you. I got you. I got your text. So here's the thing. Yeah, if you're doing that, sending me the info. I mean, look, it just doesn't make sense. We in this to make money, you know. So you do all of what you can do to bring money in. And again, there are people who respect you as a business owner because they're in business. I mean, think about it. They're in business, and then you're coming to them, I'll do it for free. And you don't think they know what you're up to? They know what you're up to. Just be mature and go in there with confidence. They will respect that rather than, okay, here's another begging notary, another begging notary. Okay. But see, if I came up there with cookies, my cookies would be like this. My cookie, actually, my cookie, I come up to them like this. Hey, I got a cookie for you. You give me some orders. It's a good cookie too. Trust me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No. Mm-hmm. It is good. It's real good. So it's a cookie, and I just need you to give me a $250 order. Okay? That's all I need you to do. This is the marketing that I was told to do. And is it working? You gonna give me some work? I've talked to different title companies. They don't like that. They're telling us that they're telling their office staff they'll go to lunch with the notaries because you're literally saying, I'm gonna take you to lunch, and because I took you to lunch, you need to give me an order. Not I've actually earned your trust. Now, there was a time where that was working, but now a lot of people are like, because the notaries don't know how to notarize, they get the documents and then they just mess everything up. Well, see, if she that's due to her actual clients. That's to her actual client. This is you trying to beg somebody to give you work because I'm sure she probably give them the pies after they've actually done the business with them or what have you. But again, they know what they want and they have confidence that that person can do it. So even without the pie, I'm pretty sure they will get the sale. If you don't feel confident in getting the sale from this title company without giving them gifts and gift cards and all that kind of stuff, then What was the point of all the training? And that's why I keep saying taking training, if you go take training, you should not have to bribe anybody to give you work because the training that you took stands out for itself. But then do they even know about this training? Who is this person who trains you? Federico and Francesca. Okay, who are they? Sound like a little dance group, a little ballroom dancers. Federico and Francesca. It's like, okay, what did they teach you? Okay, well, no, we don't like the notaries doing that. Well, we don't recognize you as a El Hue. No, we don't. You're a notary. No, we don't need you running your mouth about this, that, and the other. No, you just go in there, watch them signs, stamp, and get your butt out of there. That's all we need you to do. And again, can you operate in the legal way that you're supposed to operate? If you can, I don't see how you go. You get married, you want them to operate within the confines of what y'all agreed upon. What you get a job, you're a supervisor and you hire somebody, you expect them to operate within the confines of what that job title says. And when they don't, there's a problem. So we don't get in trouble for doing what we're supposed to do. We get in trouble for not doing what we're supposed to do. We get in trouble for doing all this other stuff. So now, are you going to get in trouble? Or are you going to get more work for yourself? It's up to you. It is truly up to you. And I honestly believe you can do it. What I want is for y'all to get your head squared away. So when you do work for these signing companies, when you do work for these direct clients, you're not going in there, like I was saying earlier, with all of this stuff that some trainer taught you as a way to try to finesse yourself into some business. Don't always try to finesse yourself into business. Just go in there confidently. I had a conversation this week. Client contacted me. Can you do this closing for us? I said yes. No, they said, can you do this closing for us? And what's your fee? I said, I can do it. My fee is 150. That's what I told him. 150. I said 150. However, if that does not fit within your standard price structure, let me know and we can do and I'll do the order within the confines of your already established pricing. That's what I told the direct client, a title company. That's exactly what I told them. They said they came back, and if I can find that email real quick, I would show y'all. Because he got so much buried. And then they came back and said our fee is 200. And I said, okay. I said, okay. I said, okay. I was like, bet. Let me see here. Who was that? I want to see if I can find. Hold on one second, party people. I probably have to go to the sent files. Hold on. Oh man. Wish I could find. I can't find that tag on. I can't even find the email. But nonetheless, that's what I told him. It says here, law office called me to do a signing. When I told him the rate, he said great because the other notary was charging $375. Y'all have to understand how people view what we do. If they don't view what we do the way we view what we do, then they're not going to do financially what you want them to do for you. I just made all that up on the fly. You want somebody to value what you do, and they understand what you do better than what you're supposed to do. They understand your role in all of this. They understand that they've been working with this client for way longer than you, and then now you want to just roll up in here on a whim and get paid 375 for something that's going to take you maybe 15 minutes to do or less. And if it's taking you less, it's because of what effort that they put in. That law firm, that title company, they did all the legwork, and now you want just as much as them, and you haven't done any legwork whatsoever. You haven't cultivated a relationship with the client. See what I'm saying? So 350. And it's nothing wrong with getting paid that if they value it at that. And if they don't agree with the way you value something, now you got a decision to make. How much do you value what I do? We value it at 150. Going all the way back to what I said earlier. Can you make it happen with 150? If Big Mama made it happen with $10, why can't you make it happen with 150? Well, things have changed. The pricing is and milk is high and eggs are high. Okay, don't drink any milk and don't eat eggs. Now what's the problem? Well, them cookies you grip like expensive. Not that expensive. Don't eat the cookies. Make an adjustment. But if you don't want to make an adjustment, you don't feel you need to make an adjustment, guess what? No money is ever going to be enough for you if you're unwilling to make the necessary adjustment so that it can be enough for you. No amount of money will ever be enough for you if you're unwilling to make an adjustment so that that money can be enough for you. It's just like the relationships you have with that special someone. You talking you if you can't be enough for them if you're not willing to change. They can't be enough for you if they're not willing to change. So how can the money you make be enough for you if you aren't willing to change how you view money and how you deal with money? I think that was good. That was good. That just came straight off the cuff. Man, just sitting here thinking about that. That was good. What y'all think? You got to make an adjustment. And if you're not willing to make that adjustment, you're never going to be happy. And there's no amount of money that's going to ever satisfy you. Ooh, boy, that right there touched somebody. That touched somebody. It touched me and it's still touching me. I'm saying, I mean, wow. You gotta make an adjustment. You make the proper adjustment, I'm telling you. mm, That's why they use the phrase finely tuned engine. They make little small adjustments. Oh, there it is. There we go. That's what I want to hear. Yeah. That sputtering. Finely tuned machine. And that's what we need to be in this business. And I know y'all can do it. So that's it for the night party, people. 2 hours. I'm tired too. Got to get my documents printed for tomorrow and everything. Look this stuff over, finish eating my cookie, and then get me some rest. I really appreciate y'all. I really, really do. Y'all are wonderful folk. Y'all are serious. Y'all are trying to move forward. I just need y'all. Well, it's not even that I need you to do this. I always say it like that. You need to stand firm on what you need to do for this business, for yourself. If you can learn something from these some of these folk out here that can help you, then cool. If you can't, don't feel bad about moving away from them. If you learned all you can learn from them, then you move on from them. But at some point in time, whether you're learning from them or not, you still got to implement something. So you got to figure out what it is that you're supposed to be implementing and then go implement it and watch the results to determine whether or not you need to make some adjustments. He says, I'm a real professional and I don't play begging an escrow officer. Yeah, I don't beg anybody for anything. If I either have what it takes to service you, to provide a product to you, or I don't. You don't have to like me. I don't have to like you. You might not like my beard. I might not like your bang, but nonetheless, can I provide you the necessary service for what you need in this office? Yes or no? And if the answer is yes, then cool, let's work together. But the problem is that when you start working with people, they start wanting to control you and start trying to change you and start wanting you to act. And when I get like, it's like, look, why are we doing this? I'm just here to notarize the doc. Well, it'd be nice if you, it'd be nice if you trim your, okay, you know what? I'm out. I'm done. I'm gone. I'm gone. Y'all can have this. I don't need that and I don't want that. So let me eat my cookies and chill out because I'm getting tired. But again, I appreciate y'all for hanging in here. Thank you for your questions, comments. Thank you for hitting the like button. Feel free to share on social media. Drop it in somebody's Facebook group and you might get kicked out, but hey, you'll always be welcome here. So that's it. But Miss Raquel, I do want to hear from you when you get a chance. And then I'm gonna look at that video the other young lady sent. And just believe in yourself. Y'all got this. Y'all got this. And just know the scammers are going to do what they can to scam. They're never going to stop. But you can stop getting scammed. That's the message for tonight. The scammers are going to scam, but you can stop allowing yourself to get scammed. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.